Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. If you're loving what you're hearing on the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, go out and tell 2 friends today. Show them how easy it is to subscribe to the show. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you're sure to find the Real Estate Espresso Podcast. Spread the love around. Why keep all this goodness to yourself? On today's show, we're talking about the drivers for making business decisions. Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's partner in Berkshire Hathaway. He's famous for saying, "Show me the incentive, and I'll show you the outcome." Society and government alike have been conditioned to think of regulation as the path to controlling market behavior, to eliminate the so-called bad behavior. But the internet is a great equalizer, and it's broken many business assumptions. We live in a physical world. People live in houses. They eat real food, at least mostly. The doctor cures the physical ailments. Governments pave the streets so you can travel with ease from your house to your destination. Local, state, and provincial governments tax their residents in order to pay for these items. Those local governments try to control what happens in the local community through regulation. Some communities are re-examining zoning policies to make them more inclusive. We'll cover that aspect on tomorrow's show. The recent run-up in share price for Tesla has increased Elon Musk's paper net worth to the point where he's now the second wealthiest person on the planet. This week he announced that he moved from Silicon Valley in California to Austin, Texas. In May of this year, he announced that he was selling all of his properties in California. He clearly cut all ties to California to make it abundantly clear that he's no longer a California resident. Apart from needing to raise a bunch of cash to exercise his stock options this year, his nearly $1 billion in stock option compensation, which is exercisable this year, would bring a whopping tax bill. Texas, of course, has no state income tax, compared with California's tax rate, which is highest in the nation, and they propose this year to increase that to 16.8% for the top marginal tax rate. So if Elon Musk cashes in on $1 billion in stock option profits, he could conceivably save $168 million in tax just by moving to Austin, Texas. Would I accept $168 million in cash to move to Austin? Absolutely, and I suspect that virtually anyone would. On the 1st of December earlier this month, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Division announced it was moving its corporate headquarters from San Jose to the Houston suburb of Spring. Spring is in the northwest of Houston, very close to where HP had its enterprise server and storage division. That location came out of the HP acquisition of Compaq Computer back in 2001. That acquisition happened only a week before the September 11th terrorist attacks in New York and Washington. HP said it's listening to its employees who want greater choice on where to locate. They want a place where there's a lower tax rate, a lower cost of living, and more ability to spread out without the congestion of traffic in Silicon Valley. Now, HP split into 2 companies back in 2015, with the more profitable server and IT services business forming HP Enterprise, and the consumer printer and computer business remained as Hewlett-Packard Inc., and that's still based in Cupertino, near the original HP headquarters. Here again, we have a company that's a fixture in Silicon Valley, one of the Silicon Valley originals, making the move to a lower cost, lower tax, lower regulation environment. It's no surprise that we're doing a development in the community of Spring, Texas. Now, I hired an engineering organization both in Silicon Valley and Texas back in my high technology days, and I can tell you from firsthand experience that equally talented people cost 25% more in Silicon Valley simply because the cost of living in that area is so much higher. It used to be the case that physical location mattered enormously when building a team. Today that's gone. Back in the early 2000s in my high-tech career, I used to hire organizations from India and relocate portions of the team to North America to facilitate the communication. The bulk of the team might have remained in Bangalore, but today that model's gone. I regularly hire top talent in India even today. Not only do I save money, the main reason I do it is for speed and quality. North Americans tend to work at home in isolation. My team in India will throw 4 to 6 people at solving a design problem and deliver a high-quality result in a quarter of the time and at a fraction of the cost of a comparable North American team. In my case, the incentives are cost, quality, and time. And those are strong incentives. I don't need regulation to get the work done in our business. If there are local regulations that make the work locally here more expensive or more cumbersome, we're not obligated to conduct business or invest in a particular geography. We'll invest where the numbers make sense. As Charlie Munger says, show me the incentive, and I'll show you the outcome. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.